Good afternoon. Welcome to October the 19th, Monday Money Matters. I hope everyone is well. It was a little chilly this morning, but refreshing. Again, my name is Lisa Terry, and I am the Financial Management and Education Director here at Financial Pathways of the Piedmont. Education is something that I feel strongly about, financial education and just um, financial life skills, and just being able to be well informed to make the best financial decisions for you and your family. So, for those of you that followed last week, I discussed spending plans and I challenged everyone to track your spending, and I hope that you are continuing to do so. If you are unaware of where your money is going, tracking your spending is going to be a huge eye opener, and it will definitely get you started on the right direction to any changes that you need to make in order to get on the path for reaching your financial goals. I have done it myself, and it literally it will be a jaw-dropping experience just to see how quickly things add up over a month's time. So please continue to track your spending. If you've kind of fell off, that's okay. You have to just pick up and keep going. Start again, track again, start today. Start right now. If you bought your lunch, write it down or keep your receipt so that you can write it down later. So, kind of on the same vein of spending, did you also know that there is a lot of psychological influences that goes into consumers' spending habits or spending behaviors? Some of this may not be new, but sometimes it's just really baffling how we can be subconsciously affected by our spending. And a lot of times we're not even aware that it's happening. So think about, we know that marketing, commercials, promos, sales, weekly flyers, coupons, all of these things, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Small Business Saturday, there's just so many things that go along with promoting, hoping to make consumers spend. But did you also know that there are some subconscious things that happen? And let's just take, for an example, a grocery store. When you go into a grocery store, what do you immediately think of? I know most of the time you're thinking, Lord, let me get in here, let me get what I need, let me hope that there's enough cash registers available, and let me get out. But there are teams and there are marketing professionals and retail gurus who specifically their ultimate role is to make you spend money. So whether that's the layout of a store, whether that is what you see first when you enter a store, think about when you go into just most traditional grocery stores. What's the first thing that you see? Usually you see, really pretty fresh fruit and vegetables. Everything is just so appealing and visually displayed, and it just looks so healthy and refreshing, and it just makes you want to almost turn into a vegan as soon as you walk into the store. Usually there's a bakery, or maybe there's a deli, and so there's additional smells that can really tantalize um, uh, your ability to, maybe kind of get sidetracked with the items that you initially walked in the store to purchase. Retailers can manipulate, and I know manipulate is a strong word, but essentially that's what's happening. Our buying decisions with sight, sound, and sense. And I don't mean common sense, I don't mean money and sense, I mean the smell of, so, think about, I know that one of the biggest things all the time when I used to hang out at the mall as a younger person, if I got anywhere close to the cookie factory, I was in trouble because once I smelled the chocolate chip cookies, it was on and I knew I had to have one. So think about that anytime you go to the grocery store. There's usually smells. You're going to smell food cooking, the bakery with cookies and cakes and pies. If there's a deli, another smell that gets it for me is fried chicken. There is something about fried chicken And you may not have even been hungry when you were in the parking lot, but as soon as you hit the grocery store and you smell all those tantalizing smells, something triggers and you're ready to buy everything. So we're drawn to colors, organization, um, uh, odors. Think about the background music that's always playing in grocery stores. It makes you just kind of want to linger and shop around and look. With vegetables and produce, especially, you know, you usually pick things up and you're feeling it and you're trying to figure out which one is the best, which is the ripest, which has the least amount of bruising. And the more you may handle merchandise, the more you may be apt to purchase it. Um, Odors and fragrances. I mean, think about my daughter is the worst for uh, Bath and Body Works. You go to the mall, for those of us that still go to shopping malls, and you know, you smell the smells that come out of the different fragrance shops. What's the new scent for the month, or etc. So all of these things can be relaxing, they can be pleasurable, but it can be also very encouraging to spend. And that's exactly what shopping centers, malls, grocery stores, department stores want us to do. So when you think about, oh, and the floral department, oh, don't forget the floral department. You see nice arrangements, um, you know, balloons. It makes you think about maybe someone's upcoming event, birthday, or celebration that you know you can come back, or either you're going to pick something up that might look nice on a table setting. There's just all kinds of things that are very enticing when you first walk into a grocery store. Now, 9 times out of 10, especially with the busy world that we're in these days, if you're wanting just some basic staple items, you know, bread, milk, eggs, toilet paper, now that there is toilet paper in the stores, where are those items usually located? Right, in the back. They're usually going to be in a very back corner, down a back aisle. And why do you think that is? Because of course the more that you're in their store, the more that you have to walk down the aisles, the more opportunity you are going to have to pick up additional items. There's probably not one person in the entire world who has ever gone to a grocery store and not picked up something that they initially did not go into the store to pick up. I just think that's human nature, whether we forgot to write it on a list or whether we saw something and it sparked a memory, oh, I'm out of sugar, or whatever the case may be. You know, not to say that that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's just that sometimes if you're really trying to watch your spending, control your spending, or think more consciously about your spending, these are things that we really need to think about. Um, so in order the sale items, same thing. They'll put them on end caps. So even if you think that you're just going to go to the bread aisle, you're going to have to pass all the end caps. So they're going to put sale items there. The thing that always gets me a lot of times is like the 5 for 5 or the 10 for 10. And yes, sometimes those are excellent, you know, deals and bargains. You know, does everybody need 10 cans of pinto beans or 10 cans of corn? You know, I don't know. Maybe if you're having a big family gathering, that's a possibility. And I know sometimes having canned goods are good to have on hand in the event of a catastrophe or an emergency or a pandemic. Um, but thinking about those, thinking about the needs versus your wants, you know, is it something that you really need right now? Is it gonna, you know, is it worth the value that you're going to spend compared to what your overall goals are, or shopping goals, or spending goals, or savings goals? Kids, taking kids to the grocery store. Now, I know I have my own kid, now I've got a granddaughter. Going to the grocery store with children can be a task just by itself. But even thinking about how things are marketed towards children, we all know that anything at the cash register, that can be a fight in itself because there's going to be all kinds of treats and candy and gum and sweet, crazy gel things and suckers and all kinds of weird candy and sugar laden items. But even the cereal aisle, The cereal aisle even will have things that are at eye level, and a lot of aisles, regardless of whether it's cereal or other things. But the way that items are actually shelved, that also there's a meaning behind that. Normally, the things that are at eye level are going to be your most expensive name brand products. Think about it the next time you go to the grocery store. Where are usually the store brand items or the off brand items? They're usually on the lower shelves. The name brand, the higher level priced items, they're going to be usually at eye level. The sugary cereals, the cereals that are made after candy or that there's commercials for, all of those are going to be at eye level for children. Whereas the things like the frosted flakes and Lucky Charms and tricks and all of that, that's going to be at eye level. The healthy stuff, like the shredded wheat or the brand cereals, those things are probably going to be way up high or way down low. So I challenge you to really, the next time you go get groceries or the next time you're in a grocery store, look at these things and you will be like, oh wow, look at your canned goods or look at whatever aisle you're in and see how things are shelved, where your price points are, because that's usually how things are going to be um, shelved in on the aisles. I already talked about the end caps. Um, how many of you have gotten yourself into trouble by going to the grocery store hungry? Call on me. I that is one thing that I have definitely learned, and I think the big thing for most people that I really want to kind of hone in on is know yourself, know what your spending habits are, know what triggers your spending. Um, if you know certain things about yourself, that usually will help if you stick to it. And things that maybe you shouldn't do or can't do because maybe the discipline is just not there. I really don't like big box stores if I'm going for groceries, because then, I'm supposed to be over here in the grocery aisles, but before you know it, now I'm over here in housewares, I'm in baby toys, I'm in lawn and garden, and before you know it, I have checked out and I haven't even bought one piece of grocery. So if I'm going for groceries, I have to go to a grocery store so that I can kind of stay focused. Um, but I know that about me. I also know not to go to the grocery store hungry. And true story, right over here, because our office is on North Point Boulevard, and the Taco Bell that used to be over here, where now it's the smoothie place. If I had gotten off work and I needed to run to Food Line on North Point, I would run through Taco Bell, grab me a dollar taco, eat that in the parking lot of Food Line before I would go into Food Line, just because I knew that I was hungry, I was ready for dinner, but that would just kind of satisfy that urge to eat or be hungry for the moment so that I could go into the store and kind of focus. That dollar taco may have saved me $50 in the grocery store. Because if you go in the grocery store hungry, it's a wrap. Especially in the evening after work hours, that's when they're going to have that fried chicken cooking and all the sides, because they're hoping that you'll come in and just pick up dinner instead of picking up items that you can go home and cook, which are probably healthier and also probably more cost effective. Um, Now, I'm not saying that, we can't do those things. I'm all about convenience myself, but just realize a lot of times we are paying extra for convenience, whether that's cost, whether that's health savings or not. Um, and we are such a busy society that sometimes, who wants to cook every day? Not everybody probably feels like it. We have a lot going on, kids at home, e-learning, we're working from home, working at the office. Life is kind of all over the place right now. So I know that sometimes there's nothing better than some comfort food. But just kind of knowing these things and realizing, hey, they might be trying to really, get me there. Large warehouse stores. I'm not going to call out names, but large warehouse stores. Think about how many times you go in and they move things around, and that can even be in a regular grocery store. There's usually, it seems like sometimes there's not like a rhyme or reason to how things are set up. Well, that's so that you'll stay in the store longer because you have to look around for everything. And the more you're looking around and the longer you're in the store, the chances are you'll buy something. So having a plan, being prepared, going in. I know that Recently, I knew I had to go to Michael's craft store to get foam boards for a vision board workshop. I love craft stores, OMG. So like I literally have to almost say like a little prayer to myself, stay focused, stay focused, stay focused. You know, I walked in, I did look a little bit, and then I could feel myself getting off track. And then it's like, nope, go find the vision boards and get out. And I went and found the vision boards and I got out and that's all I bought. I was so proud of myself. But again, these are things that I know about me. So the more you know about yourself, the more helpful it can be when you're out there spending. I know that a lot of people do shopping online, and I'm also a culprit of the online shopping and Amazon. But when you even think about shopping malls and going to the mall, for those of us that still go to the mall, um, have you ever noticed that there's never bathrooms that are close to entrances or exits? That's because they don't want you to be able to run in and run out. They want you to be able to walk past stores, walk past kiosks, go past the food court, because then the longer you're inside, the better chance there are that you will spend some money. Stores, the way that they're positioned inside malls or located. You know, have you ever noticed that, you know, you don't have all of the women's stores in one section and all of the men's or all of the kids in one section? Because if I was just going in for myself and if I could just go to one end of the mall, get in and get out, no, it's going to be spread out among the mall because, of course, the more you walk through the mall, the more opportunities you have to spend money, and how they kind of have things spread out, different kiosks, things to eat, eateries, shoes, all of that. It's spread out everywhere throughout the mall so that you're not necessarily going to target one part of the mall and leave the rest of the mall out. It's kind of like they have it spread out so that everyone can equally have the potential of uh, grabbing your attention to have you come in and spend money. So when you think about all of these things, you know, what do you do to kind of combat these issues, or to stay focused, or to stay targeted and stay on task? And again, this is going to be very individualized for everyone because everyone has different behaviors, triggers, goals, just spending behaviors, period. So the biggest thing that, and it works really well for me, is make a list. And if that means you have to go through all of your cabinets, your pantry, your freezer, your refrigerator, so that you have a very comprehensive list, then do that so that if you need a spice and you're out, that you'll remember to add that to the list. Now, if you're just going, I may have to go to the grocery store just for a quick something to put together for dinner. I will usually think about what that's going to be before I get there so that I can go in, stick to my list, and come back out. Um, Going in trying to just figure out what to have for dinner can be good, but it can be dangerous too, depending on what your time is. Because remember, time is also important, time is also valuable. And so making good use of your time is also important. But, you know, really making a list. And I have even gone so far as to, with my cart, just look at the signs in the aisles so that I don't go down aisles that I don't have things on my list, because again, the chances are there's always going to be something that we can pick up. So if I can stay really targeted and focused on the specific items that I'm there for, I will literally look at the signs in the aisles to make sure that I'm not going down the cookie aisle when I need to be over in a different aisle. Don't go hungry. Something that I've even done quite a bit lately is and I know not every grocery store has the access and the opportunity to do this. I hope one day it will. But order your groceries online. It totally cuts out um, impulse buys. Um, and that has been kind of helpful for me. And it's also a time saver because, well, there's two different ways to look at that. It takes time to really get that list and that cart filled, because you do have to scroll and click and be specific in finding what you're finding. But if you can kind of master that skill, you know, getting your list together, setting a time to go pick them up, somebody comes and puts them in your car, hey, that's like cool. You go home and you've got your stuff and you're ready to go. But I do like to sometimes go in the store because I want to be able to pick out my own meats and I want to see my own vegetables sometimes because, what someone else may pick up, I may possibly overlook or not choose because of the way something looks. So you have to kind of pick and choose what works for you within the realm of that opportunity. Now I know this one's going to probably get a lot of people, and I know it's not a luxury that a lot of women have. Try to shop without kids. I know that's hard, but it could also be a double-edged sword. Um, I know that my best friend would love to be able to do her shopping without kids, but then because then that allows you time to kind of linger through the stores. You can have your coffee, you can take your time. So either A, that will be good because you can make sure that you get everything on your list, or B, it could be a trap because now you have much more time without the distraction of kids, and you may end up buying more. Or you may buy more when the kids are there because they're throwing stuff in the cart and you don't even realize it until you've checked out. And then, of course, at the cash register when you're checking out, you've got the candy and the toys and all of that kind of stuff, which actually that affects me probably more than kids. Um, but sometimes you just, again, have to pick your battles. And I know that not everyone has that opportunity to go shopping without kids. Um, for like non-grocery shopping, mall, department store, things like that, if there's something that you see and you just feel like you just have to have it, again, thinking about needs and wants, pause, pause, step away. Step away for 24 to 48 hours. Chances are the desire that you had for that item will go away, it will dissipate, and the urge of having that item will probably go away, which means you never really needed it in the first place. And then you saved yourself the money, whatever that item may have cost. I know I have bought things before, got home, and then with the guilt or like, I really don't need this. And I have turned around and I've actually gone back and returned items. So instead of the extra step, give it 24, 48 hours. If you get home and that's still something that you absolutely cannot live without, and you go back and it's still there, hey, maybe it's on sale now, and that's an item that you have deemed necessary that you need. But for those items that aren't an immediate need, because I know sometimes it's hard to pass up sales. But again, if you already have 7 pairs of black shoes, do you really need another pair of black shoes? Um, Try not to use credit cards or other means of credit if possible. And even with a debit card, you need to be careful because we are so more apt to swipe and not pay attention to how much we're spending versus having cash in our hand. If you're able to, use cash and really consider how much you're using, how much you're spending, sometimes that makes it easier, making conscious decisions that, if you have $100 in your hands when you left and you got back and you only have 20, where did the 80 go, and being able to make sure that you can equate for all of that. Um, if you've ever opened your wallet and you're like, now I know I had so much money and now I don't, really think about where did it go. If you can't really pinpoint where you spent the money, then basically you're spending on autopilot and you're not consciously spending, you are subconsciously spending. And I know that it is very hard now, especially with the way of the world and with technology and with debit cards and swiping and all of that. But remember, you're the one in control of your money. And again, if it's hindering you to meet certain financial goals, that's when you really need to take a look at it. So stop and ask yourself prior to every purchase, is this something I need right now? Um, do I really need it? Is it a need? Is it a want? I mean, I have gone into a store before, threw stuff in a cart and was like, I do not need any of this. And sorry to any of the retailers that had to put my stuff back, but sometimes I've had to just walk out because I just suddenly knew that I was not supposed to be there and I don't need to be spending money and I need to just leave. Um, because sometimes, as women, I tend to also emotionally spend. Um, and again, once we kind of get past that emotion, then the spending is no longer a desire or relevant. So just kind of think about those things psychologically as you go out through your day, as you hit the grocery stores, as you're shopping online, even, or going to the mall or to box stores, of the subconscious underlying things that are all around you every day that may influence the way that you spend your money. And I've also had or read about when you're tracking your spending, also kind of track how you felt when you purchased, because that may also kind of give you a trend of when you're spending the most. Is it when you've had a bad day, a good day? Are you happy or mad or sad or feeling blue and you just need a little retail therapy to pick you up? Um, so if you're also kind of doing a emotional tracking with your spending, that may also be quite revealing for you as well. I hope some of these tips have helped you today. I hope that you are still tracking your spending. I'm telling you, I promise you, I can't promise a whole lot, but I promise you, if you track your spending 30 days minimum, 3 months maximum, or longer, it will be an eye-opening experience when you total and tally all of your columns each month to see where all of your money is going and where the possibilities may lie with reaching your financial goals. It may be right there in your own hands. Again, if there are anything that we can do to assist, check out our website at financialpaths.org. Feel free to give us a call at 336-896-1191 if you're interested in an appointment, or you can check out our website or Facebook page for upcoming workshops. I hope everyone has a wonderful day and gets to enjoy a little bit of sunshine. Signing out to next week. Have a great week.